working now? Okay. Cool. Sweet. What's... Hello. I'm gonna quickly mess with the thingamabob, the chat box, and hopefully it works tonight. It won't, but hello. Hello Harry, hello Ish, hello Urban. How you doing? How are you? um, so that's Stream Elements. That's Twitch chat, but clearly YouTube chat isn't there yet. Alrighty then. What about now? Huh? 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 Oh wait, didn't I press a button? Um. Hmm. There we go. Fixed it. I know how to fix it now. Yay. Um. Hello. How's everyone doing? What do you think about the Ryzen 9 3900X and Asus RG Hero 8, 9, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8, NZXT H500i, Kraken X62, 16 gigs of G Skill, Trident Z, Corsair, Power Supply, and RTX 2080 Super. Sounds like a good build, to be fair. I don't have any experience with any Asus Crosshair boards, old newer than the 6, so X370. So I can't attest to that, but yeah. I put the mic volume back up a little bit, and maybe move it a little bit closer, and then move it a bit down. Cool. Question: I just upgraded my RAM from 16 to 32. It is spread out over the. Wait, what? What do you mean, Krug? And yeah, Urban, I don't have any experience with those boards, but other than that, sounds like a good build. Hello, Chris. How you doing? Can someone post the link in the Discord, by the way? Liz Plux. Hello, Riley. Today was a bad day. That's not good. What's up? What happened? Going home next Wednesday? That's a good thing, right? If my system is using 8 gigs, is that spread out over the 4 DIMMs? Right. Honestly, not sure. I would assume that leveling would say it would try and access between the DIMMs, but yeah, it would probably be. I imagine it would use one address set first and then fill the next, but that's actually not something I know off the top of my head, I'm afraid. Better to use 2 high capacity DIMMs rather than all 4 lower cap ones. Normally, yes, because then you don't load the controller as much, but like the memory controller. But yeah. Hello F7. It's been a while. How you doing, man? What motherboard do you recommend for the build? I don't know. Probably. Well, so far my experience has been that ASRock is probably the best all-round board. It's not quite as fancy. I guess their Phantom Gaming line, X570, probably, but honestly, I'm sure that the Crosshair board is plenty fine. I just had a few bugs with the X370 version, so slightly hesitant, but yeah, I'm sure it's fine. Okay, Riley, I can understand why that's not quite a good day. Well, I suppose it's a mixed day because you're going home soon and your PC parts are arriving, but there is the downside too. Um, I can only express my my apologies or my sympathies. Yeah, sorry, man. Hello, Martin. How you doing? Exercise into Tai Chi is a beauty. That's the one. Tai Chi. Nikos, Azrock X99 Tai Chi Threadripper 2970WX Radeon Vega 64 Corsair HX 1200i Codemaster H500M. Is this a compatible build for a Ryzen Hackintosh? Should be. I mean, so the only difference is there in terms of my Hackintosh, which is actually up there because I've been rendering in Blender with it, would be what have you got? So you don't need a 1200 watt power supply for that, really. 750 would probably do just fine. In fact, 750 does that, or 850 does that just fine. But I suppose upgradability. But the main difference would be motherboard, which doesn't really make much of a difference these days anyway, and the Vega 64, which is intrinsically supported in macOS, just like the RX 580. So yeah, it's fine. I expect that you wouldn't have many problems with that. Gigabyte SI70 board, 3900X, 2080 Ti, 240mm Corsair AIO, lots of fans, 32GB RAM, 3 separate drives, adding up to 5 terabytes of SSD storage and 1000 watt power supply. Nice. That's pretty handy. And 2 MSI 4040p 144 monitors. IPS. Really? Did MSI do an IPS one? Because if you're talking about the MAG, that's a VA. Nils, can you recommend me a 1440p 144 Hz budget monitor? My friend, I did a full video on that. It's quite popular. If anyone fancies linking it, feel free. But it's it's relatively recent. I'm sure you can just search 1440p on my channel and you'll find it. In fact, I shall do that now. That gives you a pretty good breakdown. There you go. I found it. There you go. You can have it. Yeah, it depends what you consider budget. How much is budget for you? Like, are you talking like $250, or are you talking like $400? Are you talking like 100? Because I don't think you can get one for 100. So yeah, well, how much money do you have? F7, all good here. Stupid, busy. Been basically living in a research facility in Cambridge these last few weeks. Fair play. Glad you managed to get some space or some time. And Riley, the curve one you did a video on. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah. Yeah, it's great. I really enjoyed it. In fact, I'm staring at that video right now. So yeah. What's happened this week? I played with an ultra wide or super ultra wide 32x9. My god, it's big. 32 by 9, 5120 by 1440, 49 inches diagonally. It's 4 feet wide. Massive. It's upstairs still, but yeah. Huge. It wouldn't fit on that desk with a PC there, but that way. It actually wouldn't even fit on that desk. Which monitor will you buy for an RTX 20 Super 1080p or 1440p? So 2080 Super, I'd probably go 1440p. And I would probably, it depends how much you want to spend. The MSI one, in fact, just watch the video I linked in the chat. That will give you a good idea of depending on how much you want to spend, how much, like what sort of 1440p monitor you can get. The MSI one's a great option. AOC ones are nice. God, I don't even know anymore. There's some super budget ones that aren't as great, but they're fine. Yeah, Asus tend to be more expensive, but you do tend to get slightly fancier features these days. Like what was it, ELMB? So that's ultra low motion blur with adaptive sync turned on, I think, if I remember rightly, which is kind of nice. So I currently have a Black Widow Chroma V2, but want a keyboard with macros and multimedia functions. Looking at K95 Platinum. So the K95 Platinum is great. I don't use one myself because I don't care for the macros personally. That's just, I had a Logitech G15 for quite a while and I barely used them, so yeah, I'm not the type to use macros, sadly. Although I probably could. Anyway, point is, if you get it with the right switches, it's a great keyboard. But get Cherry MX Browns. And like, you know, it depends what you like, but mine had reds and I wasn't the biggest fan of it. But it is a very nice keyboard, so yeah. And I don't want to drop $250 on a keyboard if I don't like it. Yeah, that's fair. I can't think of anything off the top of my head that would suit those needs adequately. The low profile G915. So low profile keyboards are pretty weird. In my experience, if you really like how the Black Widow feels and types and that kind of thing, then I don't think you will like a low profile. But actually, that could be a good idea. The Stream Deck could be a good addition to you there. What's your motherboard on the Ryzen Hackintosh? It is the Asus Zenith Extreme. Take you have the CRG9 then? No, it's from Philips. It's the 49P9H. And can do 70 hertz out of the box. Hello Starman, how you doing? I hope you're feeling okay at the moment. Excited about all the PS5 news. Will like order a pre-order as soon as. Nice. That's I've heard the whisperings. Is there anything conclusive on what spec wise or anything like that the PS5 will have? Matt, looking to upgrade my GPU. I got a 1060 at the moment. Looking at 2060 worth the upgrade. So there's definitely a sizable performance jump there. The only problem is the price difference. The price to performance that you have there is a little bit hard to justify. You might want to look at the AMD RX 5800, the non-XT one. Because that gives you more performance for, I think, close to similar money. So yeah, check that out. 5700, that's the one. The 5800 is the unreleased. That's it. Yeah, because the 5500 was announced this week, or yeah, Monday. Which, by the way, not Ryzen, AMD RX 5500 priced. The 5500 looks really good. I'm looking forward to hopefully getting one, maybe, possibly. But yeah, it's more performant than an RX 580 for less power, which is always good. And as far as I'm aware, pretty impressive price. It's OEM only currently, but AIB cards will be available at some point soon-ish, maybe. I mean, I say soon, but they're only barely like RX 5700s AIB ones now, so yeah, it might be a little bit, but it's not staying OEM only. Any recommendations for a good webcam for streaming? Whatever the latest Logitech one is normally the hands down shout. Yeah. Any keyboards you recommend multimedia keys? macros and for big hands. Off the top of my head, like I said, no. Yeah. AMD were so cagey in the call when asked about bigger Navi. The engineers are so obviously dying to spill the beans on it. Indeed. Yeah, I think we might. Were you on the 4 p.m. or the like 7 p.m. call? F7. The suckish part is indeed the number of AIBs that make cards for AMD. True. There is actually a fair number, especially of AMD only ones. Sapphire XFX are the two that I think of. I was on the 4 p.m. one, which is probably why I didn't hear that question. Yeah. Final large keyboard without macros. Message retracted. I didn't get to see it. Yeah, but yeah, big Navi would be great. And then obviously small Navi would be great to see too. Oh, sorry, I've got a cold this week, so I'm sniveling and I kind of need to blow my nose, but it's gonna be loud as all hell, so I'm holding out. I dip the camera a bit, and then I can chill. Indeed, XFX, Sapphire, MSI, Parker, Gigabyte, Asus, no EVGA as far as I know. No, EVGA I haven't done in a very long time, if ever, if I remember rightly. Zotac used to, I think, but they stopped. They're in video only now. And then, who else? Did you mention Power Color? Yeah. Yeah. So that's a cool. Oh, ASRock, yes. Although they only do thingy ones. Like Asian market ones. Right now. I'm planning to build a Ryzen Hackintosh, or I'm planning to build a Hackintosh. What's your opinion between Intel and AMD based systems? Money is no object. Thanks, by the way. Yeah. So I don't have much experience with Hackintoshes to make it abundantly clear. I know how to play with stuff, and so that's why I have one. My experience so far with the Threadripper Hackintosh has been pretty fantastic in terms of reliability and functionality. I haven't got the App Store working yet, but I believe I can with a bit of trickery. That I haven't. I don't use it all that much. Beyond as a current rendering PC. So I can't give you the most the best comparison. I'm sure that the Hackintosh subreddit would probably give you some better advice, but so far, generally speaking, Ryzen tends to give you a better value for money for your stuff anyway. And while money may be no object, there's a difference between money being no object and wasting money. And so I would still probably point you towards a Ryzen Hackintosh, whether that's Threadripper or like desktop Ryzen. But but yeah, that's that. Where am I at? Where are we? There we go. They reiterated that the 5700 is the top dog for now, but they're committed to creating a Navi family. NDA is nuts, and now we're free to relay anything said. Indeed, we are. Yeah, hopefully we'll see some higher end, but we'll have to wait and see. Is the Ryzen 1700X still a good option, or should I pick up a 3600X for streaming? So honestly, the IPC difference and the single core performance difference with the 3rd gen versus 1st gen is pretty massive. And so while you will get 2 less cores, 4 less threads, the what'd you call it? Where am I going? 3600X might still be a better option because you'll get a good amount more FPS. And therefore, while you'll have 2 less cores, 4 less threads, I think you'll have a better time. Plus, you can always use NVENC for streaming if you want to. And fair play F7. Riley, very nice. I don't know, anything by Ubiquity is normally pretty good. If you go with their Unify line of stuff, that's normally a good shout. What am I looking at? Plans to build a Hackintosh myself for a friend, but I understood there's a lot of problems with logic, which you'd like to use. So I've heard, yes, but that's only what I've heard rather than first-hand experience, I'm afraid. Thought of doing an MATX or MATX Hackintosh build for that purpose. Nice, fair play. I have not personally. I've only barely just done a Threadripper one, so yeah. Hello Dan and hello Gavin, nice one. Asus not 100% compatible with USB ports. I'm pretty sure all my USB ports work. You just have to get the right Kext for the controllers. Riley, pros and cons of Stream Deck. So I really like mine. I've got mine on my desk. I don't use it all that much. I have maybe 10 buttons set up out of the 32 that are there. I know. But you can use it not only for streaming stuff, but you can have, so like I have live viewer count, so I can see that there are currently 18 people watching on YouTube and 1 person on Twitch. I have a hotkey switcher, so I have a program that switches my audio device from my speakers to my headphones. So when I want a game and I want my game sound to come out the headphones, I press a button, it switches an image on the Stream Deck, and then I know that I'm using my headphones because it pressed a hotkey for me, which does the thing with the program. I also have, so I normally have buttons for, what do you call it, launching games as well. You can't do it directly, hello-ish on Twitch. You can't do it directly on, like through the software, but you can launch a program with a shortcut. So all you do is you direct it to the start menu shortcut for the game that you want to launch, or even the exe itself. Add a little thumbnail for it, and you've got a game launcher. You can do folders, you can do multi-actions. It is pretty cool. I would like that, like, in terms of cons, it's a bit tedious to set up. You have to do it all manually. You have to download the images yourself and all that sort of stuff, and then set up the images yourself. And I would like to see better integration with the system. So, like, being able to not necessarily, like, power on the system from the Stream Deck or whatever, but having, say, like, I could press a button to put it to sleep. I could press a button to turn the displays off, or to, I don't know, like, I think even stuff like mute my whole system for a second, or stuff like that. You can do mute system, but yeah, a little bit better integration with like system functions would be great. So yeah. Sounds like a Stream Deck would work about alias to command line commands if it worked in Linux. Yeah, I mean, in theory, you could run PowerShell commands, but or like CMD commands in Windows as well, but yeah. Where are we at? Saw your Threadripper build for it. Just got a massive love for SFF builds right now. Got any plans yourself? Not currently. I don't have any builds planned currently. Might have some stuff with Be Quiet soon, but we'll have to see. Hello, Luca, and also haven't read more about the June case. It'd be nice to see a video of you doing a Hackintosh building one. So I emailed them and I got a reply today, and they said that they're currently only sampling US media, which is fair, small company, limited samples, all that sort of stuff. But when samples are available, they will try and send one to me, so that I can do Hackintosh build in it, which would be quite good fun. And to follow up, have you seen the 64 core processor? I've not seen one in person, and I honestly, I doubt I'll get one. I'd love one, but I doubt I'll get one. But it's definitely cool. It's definitely awesome to see in a chip that's only, you know, Threadripper size, that size. So very cool. Hello, Hector. How you doing? Hello, Anon. Spelt funny. Nice. Ooh, PowerShell. I know. Da, 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 da. Don't think I'm gonna be able to hardwire my computer in my room because my outlet is in the living room. How can I get the fastest speed computer pushing a gig to 1.1 gigs up down? So I would still Ethernet it, if you can. I would really recommend Etherneting it. Technically, powerline adapters can work, but honestly, with that, it depends on what. So a powerline adapter is a thing that plugs into your wall. You plug in Ethernet, and then it uses your house's power cabling as your Ethernet cabling. It's quite funky. It's I guess it's more common in the UK, but it can vary depending on what do you call it, what your house wiring is like. Also, you will want to. The problem is Powerline doesn't always give you full gigabit, depending on how far it is, not your house wiring and all that sort of stuff. And so depending on if you have you know, like lead filled walls like me or not, Wi-Fi might be a better option because then you can have a like a nice strong ubiquity access point, wireless access point, for example, pointed directly at the room that your PC will be in, and then as long as you have an AC Wi-Fi card, that should be fine, and you should still get pretty good signal, still get pretty good speeds. Ideally, Ethernet will be your best option anyway. Like, trust me, you want to find a way. But yeah. And yes, it's very true. British can have several. Mine is single ring, like in this house, but in the house I grew up in, it was like 8 rings. I just drilled a hole through the ceiling. Hey, me too. I drilled one through my garage wall and then the like hallway wall and then ran underneath that cable up there. Your Threadripper on Hackintosh, is it 2970WX? Yes, it is. 24 core. It is indeed. Quite curious if Linus will do a video on NTM soon. He posted a Hackintosh Part 2 video yesterday on the old cheese grater, float plane only at the moment. Fair play. I guess that'll be out on YouTube in about a week. Yeah, fair enough. That I think the June case does look really good, and I definitely like to have a play with one when I can get one. But yeah, it'd be nice to see Linus do a video on it as well. I think my Giga board has Wi-Fi built in. Don't know what the board caps out at speeds. So I have the board over there. It's just behind my curtain, actually. It's behind the curtain. I'm guessing that it is AC Wi-Fi. It should do a gig, but you'll have to see. Just booted my water cooling Novice Leaks. Nice. Is an 1800X still good to play and stream the latest games if paired with a GTX 1060? So it's certainly not bad. The Ryzen 3600, 3700X will be probably 20% faster in games at 1080p, give or take. But yeah, it should be fine. Obviously, the 1060 is not exactly the highest end card in the world, so you're not going to be really bottlenecked by the CPU there. So yeah, it should be fine. No worries, man. I'll catch you later. I'm just gonna blow my nose, so I'm gonna mute the mic because trust me, you want me to mute the mic. 2 seconds. There we go. Much better. Came through the crawl space now. Nice. I'm hopping off, Andy. I'll be on a plane for next week's stream, so I'll see you in 2 weeks when I get back home. Nice. Best of luck. Hope no one else gets well, hurt. And yeah, enjoy building. Hopefully you can get sponsorship to build Hackintosh systems for every price categories. That would be unlikely is probably the closest closest thing that I could say there. But yeah, it'd be cool. I guess I want to get to know macOS a bit more before I do any more Hackintosh systems specifically. Although I might, depending on if I get any 3rd gen Threadrippers or not, or maybe even just the 16 core, was it 3950X? I will see, but yeah, I can teach you macOS if you want. Possibly, maybe, not sure. Can I ask what is your PC specs? Sure, it's the desk PC. I did 8 videos on it when I built it, and then updates in between. The long story short is that it's a Ryzen 2700 that's normally overclocked to 4 gigahertz, but is actually back down to stock right now. 32 gigs of Corsair engines, RGB, Pro RGB, 3000 megahertz, GTX 1080, the 11 gig per second memory model, WD SN 700, 1 terabyte NVMe, Corsair. I think that's it's an H100. I want to say I Pro, maybe. 2 terabyte Seagate Barracuda, Barracuda for editing, Firecuda for games, and some fans. And then in a desk PC with a custom glass top that you might be able to hear me tapping. Yeah, that. And then in no particular order with the screens, Asus PG279Q, 1440p IPS, 165Hz G-Sync, AOC G2590PX, nope, 2460 PQU, the older one, no FreeSync or anything, and 1080p, 144Hz, portrait mode, and Hans G 21 monitor. All you need to learn macOS is how to run disk utility from terminal. Nice. Thank you, Tech Doctor. I agree. You should all hit the button. Yeah. Oh, speaking of CPUs, Intel launched or talked about some Xeon Ws. Hold on. Let me get the things up. Did I talk about this last week? No, that came. These were this week, right? Maybe. Well, Kit Guru says it was 2 days ago, so yes. I'm gonna get chat. See this or That's the. I'll paste it for you if you want to check it out. But basically, I don't understand these at all. So I'll see what Streamlabs has set up. Is it screen? That one? Yeah, cool. Right. I'm gonna. There's my face. Whoa. Right. So Noob Gamer, I do. TechSimGB.co.uk/merch. Yeah, so those CPUs, I don't really understand them, right? So it's great to see that the higher end ones, like the 18 core, is $1,333 RRP. That's awesome. The even the what's that? The 14 core is just over $1,000. But like for the lower end ones, I can't understand. There are 2 quad cores here, and I appreciate that they are quad channel RAM with a terabyte max support. But I don't understand, like, I don't understand why for like, I'm trying to articulate my points well and it's not coming out very well. I would understand if these were standard Xeon processors which were meant to be used in the server only market, because there are some applications where you need a terabyte of RAM or 2 terabytes of RAM with 2 CPUs, but you don't really need that many cores right now. And so, sure, I could understand why you would go for a quad core one, right? Okay. But when you're talking about these as a, you know, Xeon W, a workstation chip, what workstation would only need 4 cores, but a terabyte of RAM, and not, say, just going with a desktop Ryzen processor? Because they support ECC, right? And the best bit is that, see this bit? Total platform PCIe lanes. As far as I'm aware, that accounts for multiplexed lanes. So they say up to 72, but what they really mean is that they have anywhere from 48 to 16 lanes that are free. And those are PCIe 3 lanes. Whereas a Ryzen chip has 24 total lanes coming out of it. 4 go to the chipset, but those are all split to the SATA ports, the M.2 slots, the extra PCIe lanes. So you because PCIe Gen 4 is double the bandwidth of PCIe Gen 3, you have 48 total lanes available, PCIe Gen 3 lanes, or 48 Gen 3 lanes worth of bandwidth available on a Ryzen, any Ryzen desktop processor right now. Or you could go with multiplexed ones from Intel. And even for the higher end ones, like, so if you look at the 6 core, that's $550. For $550, you can buy the 12 core Ryzen 3900X. Or if you go to the 12 core, you can buy the same number of cores for half the price, again on Ryzen. And sure, you don't get quite as much RAM support. Currently, only 128 gig maximum supported, but you get the same sort of clock speeds, at least all core boosts. Yeah, for either half the money or similar. Yeah. Yes, it's great for us as a as consumers. It's fantastic. I'm very very happy that we have competition. Yeah, it's just very strange to see that there. The real differentiator between Cascade Lake X and the top 4 ZNWs is the Intel vPro Platinum support. So can you clarify what the vPro platform support is? Indeed. But yeah, I'm happy that we have the competition. I'm gonna be very excited to see the what 3rd gen Threadripper looks like, and pricing for that. Yeah. Have you had any Zen 2 CPUs that did 1900 F clock stable? No, that's not something I really test much myself. So like Infinity Fabric, I'm pretty like I'm fairly certain that the Infinity Fabric, the maximum speed before it decouples is 1800, so that has to be a manual overclock. And I don't know why you would want that. I mean, faster's faster, but yeah. More RAM and the management tech, so I'm IPMI stuff potentially. Yeah. Do you know when the Asus 4K 48-inch 120Hz monitor will be available? Nope, no idea. In fact, I'll be honest, I didn't know Asus had one. Uh, I played with their 4K 140 hertz desktop one, so that was great. And I know about the like 65-inch BFGDs, but didn't know there was one in between. New Intel Element modular computer, that did look cool. I mean, technically speaking, it's all modular anyway, but I guess there's a niceness to just having a backplane. So that's how computers used to be. But yeah, it's cool. I like the concept. I like the Razer concept when they did that. What, 5 years ago, 4 years ago. So yeah, I'd be down to try that sort of setup out, but I don't expect to see anything like that in the future. Like mainstream in the future, really. What do you think of the new display tech in the Apple Watch Series 5? So as far as I'm aware, the display itself is the same. It's only the controller that's different. And so in that case, like it's cool. It's is it an OLED? I can't remember. Either way, it's cool to get better battery life, definitely. As someone who occasionally, and when I say occasionally means I've buried it somewhere in a pile there and I don't know where it is, occasionally wears a smartwatch. Having it always on was cool, but the cost of the battery life just wasn't great. So having I suppose an upgrade to allow that to be a thing is definitely a nice shout. But for the most part, I don't think it's anything drastically new, right? I could be wrong. I'm frequently wrong. uh My first smartwatch just sits on my desk. My first two are sitting next to my bed because I forgot to put them in their boxes again. Yeah, I know the feeling. I'm not really a watch guy. I spend too much time accidentally cutting my wrists for with fixing cars than I do well, wearing watches or cutting holes in my hand from a saw. Being a moron. Gonna get an Apple one. Oh, fair play. You installed it wrong then. Indeed. They doubled the flash to 32 gigs. Right, that's cool. What do you store on an Apple Watch? I guess apps, right? But what kind of apps are available for an Apple Watch? I'm not someone who is tied into the Apple ecosystem at all. I don't have an iPhone. I don't have an iPad. I don't have a anything actually. So yeah, apps and music. You actually store the music on the watch? Why would you store it on the watch? I mean, I guess it has Bluetooth. Can you use the watch entirely untethered from a phone? Because if so, that'd be cool to then not have to take your phone with you. You can like bring your watch and have your watch connect to your Bluetooth headphones and stuff and play music. That would be cool. You can now. That's cool. You get the Ocado app. They sell one with a SIM card. Yeah, cellular version. Yeah. Okay. What's the yes and no? Yes and no, like you can't connect to your Bluetooth headphones, but or you can, but it's not great. What's the no there? They sell one with a SIM card. Yeah, that's cool. You need an iPhone to run it. So you'd still have to bring your phone with you. Okay. I used to break normal watches. Before I got a mobile, a smartwatch would be just an expensive broken trinket. kind of feel the same way. Yeah. You don't need to bring it if you have the cellular version. Right, but only a few carriers support it. Right. Gotcha. Is it one of those integrated SIMs or is it a swappable SIM? Oh, eSIM. So I suppose that's probably the integrated one then. Answered my own question. Well, you answered my question. Ow, fair play. But I guess, like, do you know which characters carriers actually support it? Not an Apple fan, too expensive for what you get. I would agree generally. I mean, there's a reason why. Actually, speaking of phones, the OnePlus phone was launched. The OnePlus 7T and 7T Pro was launched today in London, which was sweet. I think I'm gonna pick up the Pro. Um, it's kind of the this one is awesome. I love it. If the battery wasn't dying and it wasn't occasionally kind of jittery and slow, I'd probably still keep this. But I'd replace the battery, but I can't. You can't buy it. You can't really buy. I suppose reputable batteries for these. And so my experience was I got it. It had like less capacity than my original one, so I put the original one back in, and yeah, I think I'll be buying the 7T Pro on the 17th when they launch next week. I'd keep my S8, but it does weird things sometimes. Fair play. I just went to the dark side and went Huawei from Samsung. Nice. Which Huawei phone did you go with? The Mate something or other, or which one? O2 E and some more, I think, for the Apple Watch. Fair play. Fair play. That's cool. Mate 20 Pro, yeah. Nice. What's that like? Since I don't really use my smartphone too much, I might just pick up the next Apple Watch and ditch the phone. Fair play. I mean, that's fair enough. I'm kind of surprised that you don't use your phone much, because, you know, that's not my personal experience. But fair play. Can you receive text messages to the cellular version of the Apple Watch? You can. You do need an iPhone to set it up. I don't talk. Fair play. I play games and like browse Reddit mostly. Is the main draw for phones, along with taking pictures. When I'm out, I'm not buried on my phone. I mean, neither am I. It's just nice to have available on those down moments where nothing's happening. Love it, been flawless, and I love my S8. Fair play. I don't use my phone much. £20 lasted me over 6 months. Um, so Harry, you're of the I suppose generation that remembers pay as you go. Because the world is kind of contract based now, almost exclusively, from what I understand. And it's quite rare to have something like giffgaff, which is who I'm on, with the rolling contracts. So, yeah, funny. Pay and go, yes, the best. Fair play, fair play. I pay £10 a month, so that would last me 2 months. They do need to improve the quality of the AirPods though. Fair play, yeah. I've heard that they're not the best sounding things in the world. I can't deal with them. I don't have any, but I do have the EarPods rather than the AirPods. And the EarPods are just awful. They fall out all the time. They're not comfortable. In fact, I was just charging them. The cheap headphones that I reviewed the other day, the Polyhi ones, I actually really like them. I've been using them a lot. Because specifically because of this bit, they're really slim. They sit like in your ear, so when you put them in, they're not exactly like bulging out. They're pretty slim, and that the ear hanger means that they just don't fall out, and the quality isn't fantastic, but yeah, I do like them. I think the main thing is that the whole design of them means that they like the bulgiest part actually sits like in the dip of your ear. So yeah, really like them, and they're only 40 quid or 35. I think they gave me a discount code if anyone wants one. I forgot about that. Oops. I don't need contractors, don't use phone enough. Fair play. I love the AirPods. You're weird. I remember pay as you go, but would only ever do SIM only, no more contracts. The loan isn't worth the interest. Agreed. I think I've always bought my phone outright. Actually, I've generally always bought outright and then just SIM only. I think I've been doing that with yeah. Yeah, I've been doing that for a long time. I would like the discount code. I will find it. Which email was it? Is that one? No. That one. That one. Did they give me a... Maybe they didn't. Maybe I am misremembering. Ah, no, they did. 15% off with that voucher for the Holly High headphones if you check the review. Yeah. How much data do you burn through? I now have 6 gigs a month. I've previously had 2 to 3 gigs a month, and I generally don't use that all that much. So yeah. Is any notifications from YouTube if your video is downloaded by your viewers, like statistics being watched? No. So the only thing that YouTube can do, or currently does for you, is will tell you, not do anything about it, but they will tell you in the copyright dashboard page that your videos have been re-uploaded, and then you can click through and like copyright strike them. The problem with that is that it takes multiple days for that to come, like a video being re-uploaded to be found, and yeah, it's not exactly the, like, you still have to manually click everything and type owner and type, like, click some things, type your digital signature like I'm currently doing for a video because someone re-uploaded a video again, and then click submit. So yeah. Wow, fancy emotes. We have a contract with 9 phones, so we get loads of vouchers to upgrade the phones, and you can stack vouchers. Oh, that's cool. That's pretty cool. Even the on-screen renders them. I know. Crazy. I think it's because those are Twitch chat emotes, and so they like, this chat bot is mostly made for Twitch. Yeah. Oh, well, that's a very good way to get banned from China. I I don't. I, the idea that you should be censored, especially from a country of which you do not live and have never been, is not exactly in my value set. Yeah. People are just re-uploading your videos. Yes, they are. In fact, there was a series of 4 channels that downloaded and re-uploaded basically every video of mine. About 100 to 150 videos per channel. They re-upload them because not because they get a whole load of views, but because they put their Amazon affiliate links in the descriptions of the video, like my videos they've re-uploaded, and so they like they get the Amazon affiliate money, and they don't need to get millions of views to get much money from it. And that's the annoying thing, because all they do is they write a bot that downloads every video, the thumbnail, the description, or the thumbnail and the title, and then they have either the same bot or a different bot re-upload them all en masse to YouTube all at once, and then have 1,000 videos uploaded within the span of a day, all getting videos, like all getting views. Damn, you caught me. I know, right? Curse you. Does UK have free speech though? Is it enshrined somewhere? Yeah, technically yes, and technically no. It's not the same sort of it's not the same. We don't have. In fact, the UK doesn't have a constitution. Like every other country in the world does. The UK doesn't have proper free speech. But yeah, generally speaking, they're pretty lax, except for when they're not. Here, would you know much about PCs? What do you mean? We signed up to human rights, though. Yes. Yeah, what do you mean, do I know much about PCs? Kind of a channel for it. Isn't that what verified is for? Yeah, except I don't have 100,000 subscribers, so YouTube says screw you. Yeah, apparently if you don't have 100,000 subscribers, you don't mean anything to YouTube. I'm looking to get a PC and just asking. Yes, that's what the channel's here for. What sort of PC are you looking for? What sort of budget? What sort of games do you want to play? I assume. Nasal spray works well. I've only just got to the point where nasal spray would work. So I shall be using some, but after stream. And to answer the Twitch chat, yes, USB free speech only protects against government censorship, not private companies doing stuff. Yeah. I mean, I've chosen the specs for checking the Pro. Right, then what sort of specs do you have? Probably be easier to lead with that. Yeah, what sort of specs do you have? Or what's the spec list, I suppose? Yeah, that's a fun one. Ryzen 3700X, RTX 2070 Super, 16 gig of RAM. Yeah, that sounds like a great system. I think you'll have a lot of fun with that. As long as you have a 600 watt power supply, you should probably be fine there. Like 600 watt, 80 plus, bronze, gold, platinum kind of thing. Yeah. And ideally, you'd want a good CPU cooler. The 3700X does come with a cooler that will be perfectly sufficient, but if you want a slightly quieter, slightly better affair, then that could be an AIO, for example, could be a good shout, or a big knock to a heatsink, for example, like the new Linus Tech Tips versions. Yeah. Mention your monitor though. Oh, for the Data Fault Boy, that could be a good idea. I did a big oof. My AIO hadn't been cooling my CPU at all since upgrading my motherboard, since my mounting pressure was uneven. Ouch. Looked everywhere for 3900X, but can't find one. Yeah, I've heard stock is a bit limited. Hopefully there will be more soon. A friend wants to know how to set up and my friend wants to know how to set up an elevator in his PC. What do you mean an elevator? God damn it, Ish. An Elgato. There we go. So I assume you're talking about the PCIe one. In which case, turn the PC off, plug it in, plug in your an HDMI cable from your graphics card to your thing, and then from the graphics card to the capture card, and the capture card out to your display. And then download Elgato software, and then use OBS to capture it all, or Streamlabs OBS with my affiliate link. I think you can go to techstreamgb.co.uk/slobs and it'll take you to my affiliate link for that, by the way. Fair play. I mean, it's fine. For like, you know, if you're just watching it and downloading it, I'm sure that will probably still count as a view and all that jazz. But as long as you don't upload it, like re-upload it, you know, it's fine. I've Streamlabs the affiliate. Nice, thanks. I got 0. Like I got 1 penny from you for that. Thank you. Affiliate links tend to not pay well until you have volume on your side, which I now do. Thank you very much, people, for buying with the affiliate links, because it's actually paying my rent. Right. Well then, small ones for hamsters powering his PC, indeed. With that said, I will catch you guys next week. How to use OBS? Just find how to use OBS, if that is fine. Just when I get PC, maybe for some videos with friends. You can use NVIDIA's overlay to record stuff. When you install the driver, install the what you call it, GeForce Experience, along with it, and then you can use the GeForce Experience to instant replay and record and even stream directly from it if you want to. So yeah, use that. Anyway, I will catch you guys later. Yeah, see you next week. Plenty of videos, Friday, Monday, and Wednesday, as always. And yeah, I'll see you. I'm gonna blow my nose. See you guys.